10 races here on Wednesday. As the light has been activated, they're off and they're racing. And Generosity is one of the last of them to come out of the gates. First to go, Son of the Boss from the inside. Talk It Up also sprung the stalls quickly for Pike. And right there as well soon after, Rope Them In is going to lob beautifully placed, settling down. Over on the outside then, going forward next of all is Birds on the Word, and also out there Snow Prince, who's coming over but found itself a bit wide. Then Forest War back on the inside of Generosity when they settle properly. Antique Queen 3 deep as well in that line. And last is the Ruffy Weld. They go past the 600. Son of the Boss shows the way. Talk It Up is travelling second. Down on the inside, Rope Them In. It's coiled up, travelling nicely, coming into the turn. No Luck, Snow Prince from its wide gate, though, outside of Birds the Word. Then Antique Miss, Forest War, Generosity. She's well back, conceding the leader, the best part of 5 or 6, and going for runs inside of heels. And last, Weld, Son of the Boss, the leader. Rope Them In around its heels now, goes up, challenges, hits the front. Rope Them In dashes to the lead. Down the outside, Antique Miss, Generosity getting into the clear, but the Bird had flown, and Rope Them In wins. Rope Them In beat Generosity. Tight for third, Son of the Boss or Antique Miss, and then Forest War, who split them. They were followed by Talk It Up, then Birds the Word, and the last two home, the luckless Snow Prince, who was deep working all the way, with Weld the last to greet the judge. Rope Them In, number 4, ridden by Shooter McGruddy, wins the last of the day from Generosity. Chris Parnham back there, went inside. Horses to go back toward the rail. Rope Them In was off the leader's back, sprinted to the lead. Generosity unable to claw back that margin, got within about 3/4 at the finish, but Rope Them In had stolen the march, and punters have got the money in the last event of the day. 1:10.75, the time 34.59. The 600, 3/4 and a length and a half of the margins, with Rope Them In best backed 320 into 260 and landing the prize. It lobbed into that beautiful spot. Generosity was always going to give it a head start. Rope Them In no slouch. Second up returns to the winners list this afternoon for Steve Wolf by Playing God from Lead Rope. For Steve Wolf, Webb, J. Monterubio and T. Fassam, R10, Leith Putland, Ann Jones, Brad Willis and Gary Dickey, Noel Carter. Also P.N. Carter, the Circle of Trust Syndicate managed by Pete Kerr and trained by Steve Wolf. Sean McGruddy, they're the winning rider. Beating Generosity by Divine Prophet from Aura Bell, Simon Miller, Chris Parnham. So she's now had 9 starts, 1 win and 3 seconds, 3/3. Just can't find the line at the moment. And back there in third placing, Son of the Boss gets the nod for third in the photo by Street Boss from Moselle, Jim Taylor, Jason Brown, Antique Miss fourth home. So the interim placings are 4, 5, 2 and 8 there to the last race on the card. The winner coming back into the enclosure and being led back in by a couple of the part owners there, Ann Jones and also Gary Dickey. As we head downstairs, here's Steve Wolf.
We'll have very many more runs, perhaps 1 or 2 each, and then I'll go back. We won't bother about anything in the winter. I don't think they'll both come back for the spring, because I think that's where they're heading.
Okay, not a race like the Raconteur maybe in a few weeks?
Maybe for one of them we'll look at that, but we'll get through today and give the jockey a pat on the back before he goes on holidays and take it from there.
Absolutely, but Rope Them In always has shown a really good level of ability, hasn't he? He went through those 3-year-old features last spring. Do you think he has the scope to be able to get through and be your next stable star?
No doubt either one of the two of them will. There's a couple of others at home that are not bad, but these two will make the step to the next level. I don't know whether they'll be a red can man, but at this day and age they'll be very competitive in anything they hit, and I'm sure that they'll be here in the spring.
Well done on the win.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Steve Wolf there after the win of Rope Them In. Here's Scott with Sean McGruddy.
Who's ridden a winner every day this week too. He's in form, Sean McGruddy, which is good timing and bad timing, because I hear you're off on holiday.
Yeah, look, good look after the body and as well as the mind. So Peter Nucky's organised a golf trip for the boys. So Chris Nichol, myself, Troy Turner and Jason Whiting are joining us later in the second week. But yeah, we did it last year, went to Cairns and had a couple of games of golf, and doing the same this year. We're going to the Gold Coast as well. So, yeah, like I say, it's that time of year now. All the group races are over until we get to those 3 at Belmont in the winter. So, good time to have a little break.
And good time to be able to see Peter Nucky too, to say thanks for this ride.
Yeah, well, that's right. I was always going to get back on him at some stage. I was pretty kind to him last prep when I was in and out. So, but no, he's a nice horse. He's still a prep away. I must say, full credit to Steve Wolf, because his horse earlier in the day, the other 3-year-old that raced, and this guy, we're both looking for 1400. And obviously with the other one, we ran into the smart one at Casey's. But today, Wolfie had both these horses spot on for the 1200, even though they're both looking for 14. So good barrier help then in the last, but he pig-rooted on the way to the gates, and I thought, oh, that's what we want for a 1200.
Yes or no, do the Eagles win tonight?
I've tipped them, so usually they get beat when I tip them, but no, I tipped them last week. I'm going for the win.
Congratulations, well done, Shooter, and enjoy the holiday.
Thank you.
Yes, he's a man in form, Sean McGrady. 4, 5, 2 and 8. The 2 fancies cleared out, roped them in. Defeats Generosity. Son of the Boss hung on for 3rd, and Antique Miss flashed late for 4th. It's a good night from us here at Ascot. We'll be at Northam Race Club tomorrow for their first meeting of the season, highlighted by the Northam Stakes. A ripping field assembled. It's a good night from us.